Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, this week's video was a rather quiet and lower tier, I guess, in terms of what was announced this week with what's upcoming, in favor of the Mashin Hero Wataru Collab going on with week 2. With that being said, the Gacha Banners for them, of course, will still stand in favor of the collab itself. But with that, they did actually announce some reruns of some old-time classics and favorites from banners and series long past. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what they announced for this week with this episode that I have thus titled Familiar Faces. Now, starting with the Gacha Banners, of course, we'll be seeing reruns of CKN0 Crimson King with a kit of Triple Destroy, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Elusive. DVL0 variant Blackmail X with Anti-CG, Double Ghost, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Super Armor. KLN0 War Bonnet with Heater Plant, Rifle, Gatling, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Through Shot. And then, of course, KWG05M Dorcas with a kit of Radar Sight, Sword, Hammer, and the leg ability of B-Loader on Biped Legs. He also is capable of Meta Change, of course, where he exchanges his kit for Hammer, Anti-Air, and Anti-Sea, and his leg ability for Breakneck. Now, a lot of these, as I mentioned, are some old-time fan favorites. Anyone that perhaps has watched the anime or played the older games, Crimson King and War Bonnet in particular for the for Metabots on the GBA, War Bonnet or Dorcas especially for the anime in particular, Blackmail X for anyone who perhaps missed him when he first launched and is in need of a heavy hitter. Also is currently the exclusive and only user of the Anti-CG skill, but you will see more on this in each individual video on these bots as I do release them. All four of the bots honestly are pretty good. There's none of them you can generally go wrong with, as they all offer some kind of particularly great skill to the table that can definitely give you that potential edge in battle. So no matter which one you do choose to go with, all of them are really good. All of them have really nice balance to them. However, if in the rare case that you perhaps have all four of these bots, or none of them particularly seem to catch your eye, the previous banners for Saber Dragon and Dark Tiger still stand. So if you have still get the chance to collect those as pure sets or collect a piece of them, you still have plenty of options to do so. So don't sweat it too much. Also, if you have not used the paid banner yet, where you can use paid rubies for three different shots at higher tier and have a more exclusive chance to get a hold of the collab bots, that also will be available if you have not used it yet. So Saber Dragon, Dark Tiger still here. We'll be seeing an additional 4 more Gacha Banners of reruns for anyone that perhaps is in need of them. This week's Fierce Battles, on the other hand, will be introducing and bringing back GRM0 Wild Ukon, SAM0 Samurai, and WEA03 P2 Shisaku 2. Now, of the 3 Fierce Battles we have this week, they are none of them I'd say are necessarily overly powerful or overly highly skilled in any sort of way. Now, granted, all Fierce Battles can be pretty good if you know how to use them and you raise them right, but honestly, I'd say with this week, if you were to choose someone to raise I'd say the MVP of the week would probably be Samurai, the old-time fan favorite from the game and from the anime, of course. Right behind him, I'd probably argue Shisaku 2 is the next best for your budget, long range, and shoot nuking based attacks. But of the two, I'd say choose either of those if you're choosing not to farm the event this week as the particular bot to farm. Of course, standard rules do apply that if you don't have it, farm it anyway, just for the sake of having the parts as that backup. But aside from all that, with the announcements of the Gacha Banner and the Fierce Battles, the event, of course, it's still ongoing for 1 more week, as per standard collab rules. However, with this, just to touch base on it briefly, the Ikki collab skin that was announced last week with the collab itself initially will now become available on 10/14 to be collected. All the skills that were mentioned that this particular skin variant of Ikki will offer will all be skills that are geared towards head use. So maybe if you perhaps have a Arc Beetle D, someone who perhaps has a really strong head attack, for instance, could probably make use of this one particularly well. Cross Warrior parts, I actually have noticed a particular trend where, unlike collaborations and events of the past, where they kind of let you collect all of it at once in just one sitting, it seems like they're spreading out Cross Warrior's parts this time around, which is a very interesting take and a very interesting test with this event to kind of encourage more farming through the event instead of just farming it all one and done and you're finished. So with that, The legs and the left arm currently are available in the shop as it stands on day of recording today, but through this week, Cross Warrior's remaining parts, the head and the right arm, will also be available in the shop permanently, or at least until the event ends on 10/14, same day as the Icky Collab skin, and on 10/18, 4 days later. However, with that, Saber Dragon and Dark Tiger ticket bonuses still do apply as their banners are still live. So of course, if you have either parts of them, it will be a +5 bonus. But if you decide that you do decide to go after any of these highlighted rerun bots, these are the ticket bonuses at +3 each for all 4 of them, and the Fierce Battles this week, of course, at +1. So, like I mentioned in the last week and with previous events past, this is a good chance to farm and top up on materials that you perhaps are running low on, top off anything that you perhaps used or are running low. Great chance to pick up some extra materials, some extra money. One of these something I particularly like making use of with ticket-based events as a particular secret from your old pal Kura here. I found with ticket events, it's actually very easy to farm for a lot of money, because if you can farm up to about 5,000 tickets of a particular color, you can actually exchange it for extra in-game credits, the in-game coin, and get basically a free million coins for every 5,000 tickets you grind. So if you are running low on cash, that also is a great tip that you can make use of to regenerate your funds rather quickly on top of resources. In other news, however, we did get another update on the Nozomi backstory, so we might be seeing another side story arc coming up soon where we can learn more about her. And something that was brought up to my attention last week, and I did not have a chance to put it in the video presentation, and I do sincerely apologize for that, folks. That was an error on my part, as it was actually in my notes, and I did not have a chance to put it in the presentation at the time. But they did announce, however, last week that there is going to be an overhaul update to PvP, to where at some point down the line, we will be officially have the opportunity and ability to have real-time PvP battles with other players across the servers. So, this is your chance. If you've been talking the whole time about my team's better than your team, or what do you think you could do to make my team stronger, this is your chance to put your money where your mouth is, and you can take on your friends to see who is truly the strongest of the strongest Medarotter. So that is coming soon, sometime in the near future. They did mention last week that it's officially in the works toward the latter end of cleaning everything up. So this is the chance to kind of prep for that and double check all your teams. On top of that though, with PvP, as a brief note, we do have a lot of newer players that are joining the game fairly recently, so if you do have any other questions on that, do feel free to consult my handy starter guide that is in the links in the comments below on the Google Drive for extra hints, long-time breakdowns of the initial starter of the game, move sets, move skills, team builds. Those will definitely be a very handy guide to you, especially when this PvP mechanic does go live. Aside from all that, we are still continually looking for translators for the Medarot Reloaded and the Medarot 3 translation projects. So if you have any knowledge of Japanese coding or cleaning and have some time on your hands, we are more than open to any appreciative feedback or effort that you'd like to give. If you have any knowledge or you're not sure where to reach, you're more than welcome to reach out to me or join our community in the links provided below, and we can definitely get you in touch with the right people to get you up to speed on what's going on. The Medarot 3 translation, as I've seen progress on it, is making some pretty decent progress along the way. We have picked up what seems to be another translator on the project, so that is progressing at a relatively decent pace. Still a lot more time and a lot more effort that needs to be finished, so any more translators that perhaps are still looking for a project to contribute some effort to, we are more than open and more than appreciative of any kind of help or assistance that you'd be willing to offer. Aside from all that was announced this week, I believe that covers just about everything. So I do appreciate you all for stopping by once again. So if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below at the Medarot News Network page and the Metabots Forever community on Facebook. You can also join our community on Discord at the link provided and in the comments below. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at Isagami So if you have any particular questions, feedback, suggestions, or just want to follow me for general Medarot related content, I'm more than open to anything that you might have to offer or suggest to me, as this is a continually improving process with these video presentations of mine and getting everything worked on in the meantime. On top of that, do give these other fine folks a follow as well on Twitter, Sylvalion041 and so is Z2. Both of these are absolutely fantastic Medarot artists, and the artwork that they produce, very easily second to none with that. So both of which are wonderful, wonderful artists, fellow Medarotters as well. So do feel free to give both of those a follow at any particular time if you'd like to add some more Medarot to your feed. But aside from all that, thanks again for stopping by, folks. It's always happy to have you in for a visit. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.